Mod Hotep. First of all, I want to thank you all for coming out. Little brother got a little attitude at the moment. I want to thank you all for coming out as always. This is another one of our programs that we like to bring to the community. We want to present a brother to you tonight or this evening. This first time out here, and this you're gonna. Well, there's no accolades that I can present to you in reference to Brother Bobby Hemmitt. But no, this is Brother Jamal. Don't do that. You gotta give it to Brother Jamal. Yeah. But on behalf of my queen, Rati, and myself, my sons, and the Valley of the Kings, we like to thank you all definitely for coming out, supporting. Many of you, I see your faces all the time. You supported me since the beginning, and thank you, always. And right now, I'll make my end short, so I'm not going to stand up here and present myself because you know me and I know you. And we know all of those, and I always say, all of you that the undercovers and the enemy that are out there, welcome, as always. My brothers and sisters, welcome you as always. One thing I like about you showing up is that when you leave, you have a change of heart. So that's what it's all about. So at this moment, I won't hold you up. I'd like to present my brother, Jamal, from the front page. Many of you know him, know of him. And like I always say, it's the front page that got me here because I started listening and became conscious. So at this moment, I'd like to present to you Brother Jamal from the front page. Just give him a black hand.
Mayat Hotep. Greetings, brothers and sisters. I'm glad that everybody made it today. We're going to have a very enlightening discussion with researcher Bobby Hemmitt. Going to be brief in my remarks because I want to get the brother up here so we can really get started. He's got about 6 hours worth of material that he's going to put on us. And so the sooner we start, I think the better. Just in brief, Brother Prender's made an excellent point, though, about what the impact of the radio show can do and what it can be. And I'm very happy that so many of you are receptive to what we're doing on the air. I'm glad that so many of you that listen come out to some of these programs and get deeper information than what we can even give you on the radio in 90 minutes. Because what happens is that later on, we'll have the brother back or another guest that we've had on here, and I can listen to the questions that are asked from the audience, and I can say, okay, they're definitely listening, they're definitely coming in, getting the books, they're getting the tapes, because the questions immediately change. So after brother's here today, we'll have him back on, and some of you will start calling the program, and I can almost tell who came to the lecture and who didn't by the questions that are asked. And that's enlightening and inspiring to me because it means that we're growing as a community. Second thing is that in about 2 weeks, we're going to have Reverend Philip Valentine back here. Okay? Give him a hand. He's not even here. Give him a hand anyway. On the 14th. The 15th, that's on a Saturday. And so right, he'll be on the, whatever that Monday is, he'll be on the front page, but he'll be here on the 15th. And again, he's another metaphysician, and he's a naturopathic counselor. He's a researcher that, again, he spills out volumes of information, just like our brother's going to do today and tonight. And we would hope that everybody will be back for that presentation as well. So that is 2 weeks from today. Brother Philip Valentine will be back here. So now, what I'd like to do is take one very brief, it won't be long enough, moment of silence. Now, if you were at the Good Life last night when we did our program, people asked me, brother, why are you wearing this shirt? Brother got hung, lynched in Mississippi 3 days ago. So for the brother that just made his transition at the hands of some crackers, we take a moment of silence for him. Mayat Hotep. These things continue on. We're in the year 2000. Have white folks changed? No, not one bit. From my point of view, brothers and sisters, the cracker of yesterday is the cracker of today and will be the cracker of tomorrow. Some things simply don't change. Time does not change the nature of a devil. Does not change the nature of a beast. When brothers and sisters in the year 2000, over 100 years up from slavery, 40 years past what, a voting right amendment, 35 years past an affirmative action amendment, can still be lynched here in the hells of North America, crackers haven't changed. Okay. So we can still be violated in that way. No matter how much mainstreaming can be done of interracialism, multiculturalism, crackers are still crackers in the year 2000 and beyond. And if you're not a cracker, then I ain't talking to you. But if you are, you know damn well I'm talking to you. And check this out. All crackers ain't white. We got graham crackers in the house. Today. Right in the room today. Marching in, looking at me bold as they want to be, just a graham cracker in disguise. See, I can say stuff here that I ain't gonna say on the radio. Even though some of y'all try to bait me into that on the air. Graham cracker in disguise. You learn after a few years of how to, slip and slide through some of these things because they try to get you. But that's something we need to be aware of, that these things take place. These things are happening. Brothers and sisters are being violated. And like I said before, some things do not change. But one thing that can change is our knowledge. What we see, what we hear, how we perceive things, those things can definitely change. And that is one reason why we're very happy that Brother Prentice, his wife, his family, and the whole family of the Valley of the Kings is putting on these lecture series. They're bringing in brothers and sisters from across the country who are making an impact on our psyche. And we have a brother here today that is going to do just that. Now, if you have not been to the Valley of the Kings Egyptian Art Gallery, Temple of Ptah, again, it is right across the hall. It is the closest trip to Egypt you're going to have without actually physically getting on an airplane and going there. When you walk in there, the vibration will probably transform most of us right here. Just the vibration of the place. Just looking at the signs and the symbols of that place. Those things will transform us right away. I know Hotep wants to. So those things will transform us right away. And we would hope that if you've never stepped foot in that building across the hall, that store across the hall, that you would do so. Right. There will be refreshments in the back. I'm not sure if we're going to take an intermission at some point or not. We're going to leave that up to the brother. He may just want to roll for 6 or 7 hours. But there will be refreshments there in the back, nevertheless. We will take one. There are tapes from previous programs that have been done here that are for sale in the back. We have some other items and things that are for sale in the back. So at the intermission, whatever you do, go in the back and patronize our vendors. Also, we're requesting that there are no recordings, no photographs. Everything that is to be documented in here will be done by the staff that is taking pictures and taking recordings, and you can get the tapes at a later date, hopefully in about a week or so. Wednesday. Okay. What I want to do now is introduce to you our guest speaker for today. How many of you heard our brother when he was on the front page Tuesday? Just put up your hand. That's just about everybody. Excellent. How many of you were impressed with what the brother had to say? That's just about everybody. The reason why I asked that is because sometimes people come in here for ulterior motives. They ain't impressed, they just want to challenge you. So some of them are probably in here. They probably raise their hand anyway, just on GP. I'm impressed, but I'm going to be here. I want to get at the brother anyway. That happens. See, somebody got their hand up on that note, too, in the back, so that somebody's here for you. He's ready. Okay. But that happens at times. But, again, when we have a family discussion, even that dialogue needs to be entertained. Because sometimes those of us that aren't clear or have a misunderstanding, they need to bring that to the fore and get clarity, especially when the guest is right here in front of them. Don't start that rumor control. I thought, I heard, maybe he said. Bring it up, and then you'll hear it for sure. And then you can get the tape and hear it again. Bobby Hemmitt, he is going to come today to present to us a focus on the mystical mystery system. The mystical mystery system. What did our ancient African ancestors leave for us to study? Were they vibrating at a higher level of consciousness than we are now? That's a question. Are they, or did they vibrate at a higher consciousness level than we are now? That's a question. Yes or no? Anything is higher than right now. I mean, we're trying to jump out of our skin. Okay? And that's a whole nother issue. Brother made a very interesting comment. I got to bring this up in the introduction. About sisters, 90% you said, don't have their real hair. He says, he gonna break that down. But what he said is that the texture of 90% of sisters in this country's hair is not theirs. It's not real. And he'll break that down. Now, you know, I've been talking about that for years. Some of y'all been mad at me for years, especially when I bring up the blonde hairdo. Had a black blonde come in here about 2 programs back, mad as hell. Brother, we got to talk. I said, okay, sister, let me just bring the brother on. We'll talk. I got to talk to you now. Went outside and put on a show for me. I thought we was on Jerry Springer. Shook her blonde hair and walked her black behind right out of here. I got a right to be like this. You got a right to be like that. You don't have to say anything, but I have a right to say something. What is the reflection of? What is the cause behind that kind of behavior? Our brother's going to get into that before it's all over. But the premise of what he's talking about is the mystical mystery systems. He's a metaphysician. This is a brother that's going to break down our ancient African ancestors' mystery system so we have a very clear understanding of what it is. How does it apply to us today? That's a question that many of us have to have answered. What is all this information that we're presenting supposed to do? What is it supposed to do to us? This is just idle chatter, just to tickle our ear? No. This is to uplift us as a people. Brother's going to break that down for us. I'm not going to belabor this introduction any longer. I want to bring forward to you Brother Bobby Hemmitt, a brother that's born right here in Los Angeles, raised in Mullins, South Carolina, and he's back here where it all began for him on the planet. Let us all stand and give him a righteous black hand this afternoon. Brother Bobby Hemmitt, give it up for him.
All right, brother.
All right, brother.
All right. All right. Hotep. Okay. All right. Like I said, this is a joyful occasion for me because it's actually, and it must be something spiritual. Must be something spiritual here because, like I said, I was born here in Los Angeles, and my first time being back since I think age 1. And it was interesting because I've crisscrossed the entire country. I got tapes in Africa, Japan, Virgin Islands, all over the country. I got over 150 videos out, and I've been everywhere that you can imagine except here. And I could have been here about 6 years ago, 4 years ago and all, and for some reason it just didn't happen as far as I didn't feel the energy. And I think, is this right? Testing? Oh, shoot. Man. Testing. You got it? Okay. And I didn't feel the energy, and then all of a sudden, I guess the time was right. And I think the Spirit was saving this time for right now. You know, this was interesting. One time I had one of these on in Philly and had to go to the restroom. They just heard the tingling and shit, and I come back, everybody just laughing. I don't know what y'all laughing about. They said, you didn't turn that off when you went to the restroom. I said, well, hell, good thing it was a number 2. You know. But anyway, so I'm back for the first time in, I guess, 38 years. And I guess it's right on time also, too. Basically, what I deal with is the scholarship part of the ancient mystery system. I came out of the school of Dr. Ben, John Henry Clark, you know, the whole host of quote-unquote ASCAC scholars, what we call our illustrious scholars, Ivan Van Sertima and the whole 9 yards. But I often heard them talk about mystery.
Hi.
You're going to put it right there?
Right there.
Yeah, okay. That's it? Okay. All right. I often heard them talk about mystery system, but nobody could really say what it was for the simple fact they were historians. And that's the difference. They were not occultists. They were historians. So the whole concept of the stolen legacy was basically an overview, but it had nothing to do with the real mystery system. Basically, that was George G.M. James' concept of it based on the information he had in 1950s. And so basically, everybody took that and ran with it. Now, meanwhile, Europeans dealing with what they call the so-called New Age or the occult basically preserved this information, renamed it New Age, and in actuality, it's the mystery system because they preserved it because they were targeted in Moorish Spain, is where they came about. So we're going to go into all of that. But first of all, what we need to do is we need to give the ancestors the libations. We do the libations for one reason. Well, 2 reasons. Let me give you one. Number one, they're remote viewers. A remote viewer is a psychic spy. And a psychic spy is a person that basically can be wherever the hell they are and they can tune in. And they even got black people doing this thing. The chief remote viewing center is at Emory University in Atlanta, Georgia. So when you had your people, the Applewhite people, remember the people that killed themselves in the house back in 97, all those 49 people? All of a sudden they raised their heads and they say, yes, this is Courtney Brown and Lieutenant Ed Dames, and we do this remote viewing. That they developed this remote viewing, this psychic spying in the 1940s. So what happened here is you pour your libations to block that out. Now, I was in Jacksonville, Florida, back in 94. And I poured the libations, and what it is, they got this central church, this Baptist church that runs everything down there. And basically, it's a whole bunch of occultists and Wiccans that run this thing, and they spy in on the black community. So when I poured the libations, they couldn't block things out. Oh, you're going to put that, oh, you good to go now, right? Okay. All right. I blocked things out and shield everything, and as a result, what happened was they had to send some Negro over to try to get me invite me to come over so these people could give me a whole bunch of books. Now, the whole thing, there's zones. Now, these zones is I blocked out and I got the spirits blocking for me, and I leave like a fool and go where they are, and they got their entities blocking for them, and I get up in there and they zap my ass. So there's certain zones, and you got to stay in your parameters in the spiritual warfare. So you pour the libations to block things out. Another thing also, too, what you think is ancestors, in actuality, when they die, they live as entities inside of you. They go to the nearest person. You see those things, those movies like The Hidden, where this thing is possessed the people, or the movie Puppet Masters, and once they leave that host, it goes to another host. Well, your ancestors, what happened is, when they die, they come and they live inside of you because you are your own universe. Your own universe. The beings who live below say that God is on high, while the angels in heaven say God lives on earth. The Zohar. Zohar is the Kabbalistic text found in the so-called ended up in Spain, and this is where you get your Kabbalah from, coming from the temple of Kom-Ombo in ancient Kemet, or ancient Egypt. And now the Europeans, or what you would call the is-it-reallys, are dealing with the Kabbalistic thing, but we are the origin of the Kabbalistic thing. So we'll bust that up right now, put it in a motherfucker face, so it won't be no shit. Here it is right here. This is the, hold on 1 minute. This is your so-called Kabbalistic tree of life that you've seen. Some of you that have been into the occult have seen the tree of life. The 10 spears, Kether, Shakma, Bain, Darth, Geberah, and we'll go into this hard Mercury, Yesed, Tipperith, Malkuth, chest, not chest. All of this is the Kabbalistic tree of life, but here is the original tree of life, which is the same spears. The other ones are broken off right here in the temple of Kom-Ombo in ancient Kemet. So, like I say, you put it in a person's face. What we're dealing with here, number one, let's get this straight. This is not history. You can argue about history all day long. Hell, it was our history and all of it was black. So that's the end of that. What we're dealing with here is the deep regions of the occult knowledge, and the word occult means hidden. That which is hidden, are the esoteric teachings, which means inner or mystical realms. This is what we're dealing with here. You see what I'm saying? And we're also dealing with eschatology, which means end-time events. And we're talking about the destruction of the planet Earth. That's your birthright. And you all are the ones, as the book of Enoch say, is going to bring about that and kick that ass. Not no motherfuckers up in heaven. Now, to go on, first of all, I might use, on my first videos, I hardly cursed. And as I became more and more spiritual, I became more and more foul-mouthed. And it teaches a certain discipline here. Number one, there's no such thing as curse words. There's only one real curse word that you know of, and that's the one that people get least offended by. That's damn. And you have to use it in the context of damning someone to curse them. The other stuff is just slogans of the European language. You see what I'm saying? Fuck, man, an English prostitute. You see, shit, do you know the word shit is one of the most ancient names for God? Shut or soot, which is one, we'll break that down, is the most ancient name for God, shit, so shit is good. The word bitch, female dog, is good. That's the dog star, priestess of the dog star, the bitches, priestess of the dog star. You get the word bitch, you get the word vitch, you get the word witch, or Wiccan, which is when it becomes witch or Wiccan, that is the Moors brought up the mysteries of Isis and taught it to the European women. This is all scientific and all historical. Now, so that's one reason there's no such thing as curse words. First of all, even if you big-time Christians up in here, the scriptures, when the scriptures was laid down for that, the English language wasn't even in existence. So how in the hell could something that's not even in existence be a curse word? since we've adopted this as emphasis and the official language of the ghetto, now my mother, who was an English teacher, used to say, when she cursed, she said, hell, it feels better. That's that accent on it. That's one reason to teach you that in actuality we got to get out of these barriers which makes us human. The other thing is, that Sister Charmaine, is Sister Charmaine here? Hmm? Huh? She's not here? She didn't come? Or she didn't make it? Okay. The other thing here is, I often wondered why, as I became more and more illumined or spiritual, I got more foul mouth and more, with less tact and no scruples. Well, number one, because we understand that the government can take your stuff and put it on the doggone TV, and character assassination is one of the number one things for the government. The Spirit later on came and said, well, you know, we raised that energy in you to curse like that because if they put you on TV, all they have is a whole bunch of beeps. So they can't use your material. So this is a doggone safety device to block out the bull. You understand what I'm saying? So we must clarify this for those particular ones who are shallow enough to not go deep into their minds and understand there's no such thing as curse words. And that's just a programming. Because you was taught something when you were a child. And you can't break that condition of that programming. You understand? So we do certain things spiritually so you don't get programmed. Is Sister Shakira back yet? Or whenever she come in, just tell her seat is up front, you know. And it's interesting because Sister Shakira has been a pillar of the black community for years. She moved to Atlanta for 6 years, and she was a part of the whole concept of the whole birthing of my career, basically, when I was early into it. And then she moved back here, I think last year, or this year or something, in '99, and fell right back on the scene. And it's interesting because she's born on November 28th, and I'm born on November 28th. I'm 38, she's 68. You see? So this is a spiritual, real spiritual thing going on and all, and we were related in another life. So this is how things go. So on one hand, we pour the libation. The other thing is when you pour the libations, these entities that you call out, they line up inside of you. And when they line up inside of you, they make you stronger. So in actuality, you're supposed to pour libation when you go to court. We'll go through some magical stuff you can do. You know, to keep people from fucking with you. Keep the bill collectors off. We'll give you a money ritual. We can give you one that you can receive money in 7 days, and then we'll give you one for big money. Big money. Hey, I know y'all like that shit. You sisters, we're gonna give you one. This is a tragedy, and this whole world has to end because there's a tragedy that is going on in the United States, and that tragedy is we have at least 15 million black women can't find no mates. And when the black woman, the species half, cannot find a mate, it's time for the great goddess to end this bitch. But since we got black men defecting your ass at an alarming rate going to the other side, I don't know, white, Asian, whatever, they don't want you. So we're going to give them an attitude adjustment so we got a good love ritual for their ass. And don't, to try to curb that shit the other way and bring them brothers back to you. So, yeah. So we got a good love ritual for you behind and put it on them. Before the Chinese girl get them, hit them in the head. See what I'm saying? You know, and this is interesting because my mate for the last 7 years just departed. So I said, man, this is the worst place to go, all these beautiful women, and you single now. But one of the keys here is she didn't depart. It was a mutual agreement. The sister that I was with, I met her when she was 20. So I got her when she first got out of the house. And then she looked up about a month ago and she just turned 27, and she was like, damn, I never stayed on my own. I never did anything on my own. So I just want to go out there and see how it is to be on my own. And I said, I guess you're right. I said, because shit, I partied from age 14 to 30. I said, I used to open up clubs for niggas. I said, personally, I said, being spiritual enough to understand this, I said, I think you need to, I said, it would be different. I'm 11 years older than you, but it would be different if I met you at 27, when you was 27, but I met you at 20. You just got out of the house. And I mean, we had a good run. We flew all over the country and we did a whole lot of things together. And she's a master psychic. You see, I'm gonna miss that. But I said, I think you need to go. Plus, she was one of them kind, you look the wrong way, she'll know. So if I messed around, she would know. You see that on the which way is up? Say, you mess around, I know. You see what I'm saying? So I thought the wrong way. She said, oh, something up. So, but anyway, so I told her, I said, you're right, I think you need to go on out. And she didn't miss a beat getting the hell out the door. Man, shit, she got a place in a week, phone in a week, gas in a week, light in a week. I'm like, damn. You act like I got the plague or some shit. And she didn't miss a beat getting out the door. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, that's good for her, but that ain't too good for me, And also, all of a sudden, I'm back on the single zone after all these years and stuff. And you know how it is? It's like, that would be cool, but it's one thing if, if something wasn't going right for years and you just had your eye, but, I mean, it just was abrupt, and we both agreed, hey, because we did this major ritual. And after the ritual in January, she said, I got to leave. I said, yeah, they forcing you out. But anyway, so, since I'm not even socialized, I don't even know how to even act around a woman, you know what I'm saying? Because, you've been out of the game, you used to everything, so, you ain't even socialized now. Because there's a whole socialization when it comes, So I'm like, but I also, it's kind of messed up because I am the brokest man in the Western Hemisphere. Literally. I gave up everything, and the only money I have is the money I have in my pocket, and right now I think I got about $5. So I'm the brokest man in the Western Hemisphere. So, I mean, so I guess that'll cut that in half. All right. But then again, I can stimulate you mentally. Yeah. 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 So, but then again, But anyway, going on, we need to do these libations because we need to block out this, and we need to line up some stuff. So, you want to get in the habit of pouring libations weekly. I mean daily, every morning. So I got 2 or 3 good libation lists that I'm going to leave behind. Brother Prentice, you can get this stuff printed? Brother Prentice, can you get these 3 libation lists printed up? Print these up. Print up about 100. Print up about 100 of these, and they can stop back by the shop, next, and, sell it for like $1 or $2, And these libation lists, they have the voodoo, the Yoruba, the Kabbalah, the Egyptian, the Hindu, the Santeria, the Greek, which is Etruscan. The original Greeks were the black Etruscans, the Phoenicians, and they started Greece and Rome. So these names are African names. The Etruscans, the Phoenicians, the Eturians, and they were the Typhonian Egyptians that was pre-dynastic Kamites. We'll go into all of that. So we're going to, for the people that are interested in the libation list, we'll leave this behind. We'll leave this behind. We'll go through some mystical and magical things that you can also do. You can also do things, like I said, money, love. There's a good one for your nature to rise, a voodoo one called, you call on Papa Gede. When time don't rise to the occasion, you call on Papa Gede, and Papa Gede is a voodoo deity, and he pretty much works pretty damn good, So that be good for some brothers, but that might be good for some sisters, and if the brother ain't coming to the occasion and all, Good man is hard to find, but a hard man Very good to find. So, so we'll give you the proper, you know. So we'll also do that also. So let's go into the libations. And then we'll go into the libations and then we'll get it on. So for the people, I suggest that you max it out because I'm going to be here probably till the people go home. So that's 3 o'clock. That's when I'll leave. You know, usually I do the maximum. The minimum is 6 hours. That's pretty rough. 6 hours, and the maximum is 8 or 9. But don't worry about it because it's going to seem like 2 hours. See, what happened is you change the atmosphere in the room with the libations, and it'll seem like 2 hours. Now, so all the agents and stuff, y'all want to get funky. These are the Vevés from the Voodoo. Now, you can take your goddamn chances, but you fuck around and catch on fire up in here getting funky. You see, we're not dealing with some regular old bullshit here. So all the agents or the people that come and disrupt stuff, remember you're doing it at your own risk. Because you mess around and you get them Vevés, they're Voodoos, and I got another set called Apollo. You get them mad and stuff. You see what I'm saying? Your ass might catch on fire. So whatever the deal is, you can act funky all the hell you want. But all your hair you want. But I'm telling you, take your damn chances when you're fucking with them Vevés and the, what you call the lower or the Apollo. That's our high magic because we deal with high magic. You see what I'm saying? And I ain't the motherfucker to fuck with. You can ask the white boy about that shit. You ask the white boy about that shit. I'm not the nigga to fuck with. You see what I'm saying? Because you don't want to mess around with them cats there the wrong way. And don't worry, you might get funky, but they'll get you when you get to your house. That's right. They'll get you when you get to your house. Now, they got a Ghanaian ritual that the women use in Ghana to take a brother penis away. They got, this is real deal shit. See what I'm saying? And I think I pretty much got that shit. So fuck around. And you'll be pissing through a tube for the rest of your life. For all y'all agents and shit, I pretty much got that stuff. And if I don't get it now, by the time I get back to Atlanta, your shit is gone. So y'all fuck around now. You see what I'm saying? Because we at war now. You see what I'm saying? So we ain't got time for all old foolishness for these niggas that don't respect black people. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? You will get killed fucking around with this shit here. So come on with it. Get funky if you want to. So I'm going to pull out some other ones, some even stronger ones. So if you want to get nasty, you in at your own damn risk with all that government agent shit. You see. Because we got to set the example for assholes. You know, because a nigga will get an asshole on you in a minute. You see, so we ain't playing around. So you don't have to give me no respect. You know, country talking nigga, you know. But hey, you're at your own risk. You see what I'm saying? So let me do something first. Hold on. Bear with me 1 minute. I will talk while we're doing this. While we're going through while I'm looking for these other ones, and it's interesting because it popped in. I guess they must have told me, you better put us up, brother. Because it's interesting. These other ones. You all right? Okay. Number one, I have a book out. This is a small thing coming from a white Luciferian group of upstate New York. We have a limited amount of copies, probably about 20 copies, so first come, first serve. And what I'll do is I'll leave one behind with Prentice. And if you don't get one, you can get with Prentice, and he can probably produce them. So that's what we'll leave it behind. And if you don't get one today, just come back up here and they can go and spend their money to get it. It's only 20 pages, so 20 pages times 5, you can produce some. It's called Melanin People, How to Eat and Devour Their Energy. White Luciferian Group Reveals Their Secrets, edited by Bobby Hemmitt. And you need to stay out of them damn churches. That's why there's one on every corner. That's one on every corner. You don't think the white man love you that much to let you build a church on every corner? Come off that shit. Who do you think gave you that church? That's to zap your energy. That's right. And so I got it on several tapes. I did one in Philly during the day of the Million Woman March, and the spirits came and gave me this information. And then lo and behold, here it is. I got the white boys talking about how they do it. Zap that energy. We're going to go into all that today, too. So that's one place you don't need to be messing around is a doggone church. It's very dangerous dealing with the Lord. You know what I'm talking about. Because that ain't the Lord at all. That's slavery. You see what I'm saying? That's slavery. And other than mind control, but it's very dangerous. You know, see what I'm saying? But, you know, it's cool, whatever you do. But, hey, you've been warned. I want to get these Paulo. And I'll talk as we go on. This esoteric science, well, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to just pour the libations, and then as I talk, I'll be able to line them up. Yeah. Yeah. And so we can do this and all. Obviously, they hiding, because they must have said, you know, maybe there's somebody up in here and they don't want to kill nobody, so y'all spared. I don't know. Yeah, but anyway, let's do this. Get me water. Okay. All right. Let me call out an invocation to Ishu first. And for the people that never seen libations poured before, we'll call out the invocation to Ishu Elegba. It's Ishu Elegba in Hemmitt. It's Anubis. It's Anubis. It's Tahuti. All this is the same entity, the opener of the way. Ibaku, Ibaku, Malambu, Ishu, Ibaku, Malambu, Ibiku, Marambu, Mayambu, Omi, Kangichu, Ibaku, Omoki, Akau, Mabu, Ishu, Kalu, Ibaku, Malambu, Omi, Ku, Ibaku, Malambu, Obiku, Ibaku, Malumbu, Aku, Ishu, Kala, Aku, Abiku, Malumbu, Aku, Ishu, Kalua, Ibaku, Malumbu, Malum, Omaku, Ku, Oko, Ashi, Orom, Laro, King, Lori, Ishu, Colombo, Ishu, Koma, Colombo, Aki, Anaku, Lea, Anaku, Lea, Aku, Chi, Ibaku, Guana, Ishu, Laro, Akanu, Aro, Aroli, Aroli, Anaku, Anaku, Lori, Anaku, Lori, Anaku, La, Guana, Lori, Ashe. You all right? Okay, ready? Ishu Oro, Ishu Ipun. There you go, Ashe as loud as you can. Ishu Oro, Ishu Ibakun, Ishu Akutu, Ishu Osi, Ishu Ogobo, Ishu Mari, Ishu Jatsu, Ishu Ayi, Ishu Adora, Ishu Jodo, Ishu Agawan, Ishu Gabda, Ishu Okon, Ishu Orari, Ishu Alua, Ishu Katasi, Ishu Kori Duni, Ishu Legba, Ishu Imaja, Ishu Lori, I say Ishu Akani, Ishu Okruni. I say, okay, all right, let's do it. Okay, y'all ready? Okay, let's do this. Agasu, Agari, Edo, Zane, Baron Sundi, Basmati, Bridget Lacroix, Dambala, Azuri, Guadi, Grand Boris, La Serene, Legba, Zaka, Marasha, Mystery, Ogun, Simbi, Papa Zaka. I say Omi Tutu, I say Ani Tutu, I say Ili Tutu, I say Tutu Alegba, I say Kosi Ku, I say Kosi Arun, I say Kosi Ofo, I say Kosi Interna, I say Apa Kakta Babawaya, I say Mato Ogbo Olasmi, I say Akababa, I say Mojobo Olafi, I say Mojobo Orisha, I say Mojobo Ilatun, I say Mojobo Iku, I say Ilarame Odorame Osun, I say Moko Ikamasi Ogobo, I say Babalasa Yogo Ilasa, I say Nikamasi, I say, okay, let's do this. Aim, I say Aim for the Uda, I say Ainsar, I say Dab, I say Keza, I say Shopma, I say Bina, I say Tipper, I say Shed, I say Jinsia, I say Tamarua, I say Tipperus, I say Nexed, I say Had, I say Yased, I say Malkuth, I say Cthulhu, I say Yog-Sathos, I say Nilid Hotep, I say Azathoth, I say Hestar, I say Shub-Niggurath, I say Great Ones, I say Great Old Ones, I say Kulu, I say Nakumpa, I say Amelinga, I say Sut-Nesit, I say Sut-Nubit, I say Lakshmi, I say Jansia, I say Edoedo, I say Awas, I say Ovas, I say Ivas, I say Inanna, I say Ishtar, I say Vashashetu, I say Pataneta Unra, I say, okay, let's roll on. Osea, I say Aset, I say Tahuti, I say Mayat, I say Patah, I say Sut, I say Amen-Ra, I say Amen-Rithasa, I say Anansa, I say Satis, I say Tetanin, I say Upwaret, I say Anpu, I say Anubis, I say Brahmin, I say Brahmini, I say Ramachandra, I say Siva, I say Inasuda, I say Sita, I say Hanuman, I say Asura, I say Hinsaman, I say Lakshmi, I say Jinsia, I say Dambawalawedo, I say Marasha, I say Bridget, I say Adamgwerdi, I say Ogufarelli, I say Ogushengo, I say Azuli, I say Edoedo, I say Zaka, I say Alapi, I say Loa, I say Ife, I say Oshosi, I say Olakun, I say Olaroon, I say Adudawa, I say Alafi, I say Obatala, I say Aruna, I say Ogun, I say Shango, I say Oshun, I say Legba, I say Yemenya, I say Orisha Oku, I say Oya, I say. All right. To all gods known and unknown, I say. To all ancestors known and unknown, I say. The Hemmitt family, Shaw family, Davis family, all my family members, 1, 2, 3, start calling out your family members. 1, 2, 3. I say, 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 Zarabanda, I say, Zarabanda, I say, Zarabanda, I say, Makumba, I say. All right. Now, you're at your own risk now. Okay, let's deal with some stuff. We'll roll with it. We're going to deal. We're going to start off with what I call the, oh, yeah, I guess, yeah, shoot. That's a lot. Yeah, you might well give me all that. We're going to start off with what I call a hard copy. The hard copy is stuff that is going on around the United States and different aspects of what's going on in our lives. And we're going to line all that up. To present the whole esoteric aspect of what's going down. So first of all, I want to go into some things that's actually happening at this particular moment. Now, like I said, there's a million black, let's say it's almost 10 million to 15 million black women can't find no males. So we got to curb that. But that's telling you that in actuality, the earth plane no longer provides the type of living that we need on the physical, and we have to go to the next plateau. I'm getting ahead of myself, but we have to understand these particular things. So I'm going to go into things that you've never heard before, and it's going to be irrational, illogical, and no common sense. But if it makes common sense, if it's rational, logical, in a world like this, then you're dealing with the wrong shit. You see, so this is the spirit realm does not supposed to line up with what is apparent and what is left brain and what is what we would call good sense. The spirit world don't supposed to make no sense because this realm is so damn low until it can't even comprehend things on the other level. So now, you know, it's interesting because they got brothers and sisters in Africa that now don't know but two people, Jesus and Martin Luther King. They don't even, we got, one of the brothers just went over to the continent. He said some of them don't even know their own president. But they know Jesus and Martin Luther King. You see, that Martin Luther King thing, boy, that's the greatest government agent thing that ever worked. You see, that ever worked. Now, to let you know he was a government agent, do you know that all your Martin Luther King drives that's all over the country was patterned after the one in Atlanta? The one in Atlanta starts in the Confederate graveyard. Now, wait a minute now. The Confederate graveyard, we're talking about Margaret Mitchell is even buried in there. And they had to honor her with the whole going with the wind shit to bury her in the Confederate graveyard. Do you know that Martin Luther King Drive starts in the Confederate graveyard? Now, that's an oxymoron and a contradiction. Or is it? That means that he had to be the greatest government agent there ever was. This is a Negro Boule. And to prove, you can get right on Martin Luther King and you can drive and it starts right in the Confederate graveyard. There's no way the Klan gonna put the road that comes out of the great Confederate graveyard in the capital of the Confederacy and name it after a black man. You see? Now, Martin Luther King, as you know, patterned his whole science after Gandhi. What happened was in the 1950s, you had Honorable Elijah Muhammad's movement. You still had a resurgence of the Noble Drew Ali movement that was popping up, was carried over, although they killed Noble Drew Ali in the late 30s, early 30s, late 20s. But still, it was still strong enough and it was still holding on. The Nation of Islam was getting stronger. They had a motorcade for Honorable Elijah Muhammad. They had a motorcade congressional parade for Honorable Elijah Muhammad in 1956 in D.C. And he went to the Congress and damned them all to hell. You had the real civil rights movement started in Harlem with your boy, what's the preacher? Adam Clayton Powell. You had another movement in Mississippi that was going down, and they said, wait a minute, if we got to get on top of it, we got to fashion a movement that can be counter-revolutionary. During the same time, Malcolm had already started teaching, and they needed something to balance that. So the British intelligence called and said, hey, we were successful a couple of years ago with Gandhi, and Gandhi was an agent for the British intelligence. And we was able to get out of India with the non-violent bullshit, and Gandhi being an agent of the British intelligence, and we staged the whole thing. And you know that Britain is still the father of America. See what I'm saying? You know that whole Rothschilds and all that whole 9 yards. So they said, look, why don't you find some black person? They were supposed to get Ralph Abernathy at first, but he was a little older. And they found Martin Luther King because he just graduated from Morehouse and the Boston University and all that stuff. And he was a little more fine-tuned. They needed a charismatic person and a little bit younger. And that little Camelot thing with the little pretty wife. You know what I'm saying? And we'll find him and we will give him these doctrines. And we will do the same thing in America with this nonviolent thing that we did in India. Now, ain't it funny how they always throw that Martin Luther King shit up in your face every time you get funky? Because he was a British intelligence agent, or basically an agent for the government, and a Negro Boule and all that stuff. But the Confederate graveyard, the street that all the other Martin Luther King streets are patterned after starts in the Confederate graveyard. And when I went to Indianapolis, they said I would start in a Confederate graveyard too, a real Masonic graveyard. Now wait a minute, these are two white graveyards that automatically is going to host a person that was supposed to be the upliftment of black people? They care about him that much? Come on. No, he did a job well done, and they always honor you with a job well done when they give you a holiday. Why is it one of the most racist presidents in history signed the holiday in 1985 into order? Because it was a dream realized by the whole conservative faction of the Klan and the United States government. You see. And so all of a sudden they took this same black figure over to Africa, and now they know Martin Luther King in Africa. And Jesus, the other government agent, if you want to put it that way. JC done took more black women wives than any player out here. Now, you know Alton Maddox, we're going to go through some things that's happening. You know Alton Maddox, who is the brother that stood up, the lawyer that stood up with Tawana Brawley and C. Vernon Mason. They stood up for you. Got that candy bar? See, I got a way to do this shit for like 9 hours straight. Did the brother ever get that? You got that? Up there. Oh, that's good. Oh man, I'm messing up big time. Oh man, we gotta really give him some juice. Excuse me, we didn't get on you. This is the juice. This is Maya's rum, Jamaican rum. The lowers of the gods love this. Get this, and we know it works. If you ain't got no insurance and you drive with no insurance, split this four-way in your car. And you ain't got to worry about it. I know a sister was driving with no insurance, spit this in her car, got stopped by the cops, and she gave him some old shit for about 10 years ago, and they said, oh, move right along. You see, this is your protection. So we got to get that. And also, if I give the lower some, you should take, never give them nothing that you won't take a sip yourself. Don't mind if I do. This Maya's rum, Appleton rum from Jamaica, any rum from the islands, Antigua, Barbados, any rum from the islands. You see? Get this rum. Got to line stuff up. Spit it four ways in your house, and also spit it in four corners. You see what I'm saying? Spit it in four corners. You see? So get that particular rum. First of all, I want to say this. This month, they're going to do the ultimate disrespect to black people. Now, what we're dealing with here is this lecture is not just another theory and another talk. We're getting ready to go to war with the United States government, and we're going to kick them in their ass from the spirit realm. So, I'll go into that later. That's on into the crux of this thing. We rule it with power now. So this ain't no bull no more. You see, so now, they're going to give the ultimate disrespect to black race this summer in this month. Now, they have savaged all aspects of black people in the media in Hollywood. There's only one person that they wasn't able to savage, and that is the black woman past 60 years old into 70 and 80. She just exudes all that is good. She surpassed the white woman leaps and bounds. It's just, you just can't think of an old black woman as being fucked up. She might be an asshole, but the icon of all that is pure on the world stage is the black woman past 60. Especially 70 and 80. This is an icon that's worldwide. So this is the last frontier that they had to savage. They've savaged black children. They've savaged